Let's try adding rational expressions with common denominators and greatest common factor factoring. If I have these two fractions that I want to add, I can add them because they have a common denominator. So I'm just going to keep the 4z, because just like 1/2 or 1/4 or 1/8, the bottom just tells me how many pieces something is cut into. And so therefore when we add the fractions, we just kind of keep that like a last name. But we're going to put the top part together. We're going to do this 9z minus 5 and plus 5z plus 3. If this was a subtraction, I would want to be super careful to keep these in parentheses, because subtracting would change the sign of everything that's in the parentheses. That's not the case with this problem, but I wanted you to be aware of that. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 9z and 5z are 14z, and then -5 and 3 make -2. And that's over 4z. But I actually have a common factor here that I want to cancel out. So in the top, I can see that there's a common 2 to factor out. So that's going to give me 7z minus 1. And on the bottom, I have 4z. These are factors. 2 is a factor, and 7z minus 1 is a factor. And if I had a common 7z minus 1 on the bottom, I could cancel that. But what I do have is common 2 top and bottom. So that's going to cancel with this 4 right here, which happens to be 4 times z. That's why we can do that. Whenever we have factors, we can do canceling. And so my final answer is going to be 7z minus 1 over 2z. We can go back here and look at the answer. 7z minus 1 over 2z. I'm going to go ahead and do one more of these. Let's go to the problem first. That looks like the same problem. Here we go. Okay, and this one does have a minus, so that's excellent. So I'm going to keep the same common denominator, which is 6z, and on the top I'm going to do 13z minus 6 minus 5z. There's no parentheses here, so it's not as tricky as I was hoping. If there had been parentheses, then this minus right here would change the sign of everything in the parentheses. In this case, we're just going to simplify. We have 13z and we have -5z, so we're going to get a positive 8z minus 6, doesn't have anything to combine with, over 6z. And we're going to look for a common factor, which again is going to be a 2. If I factor a 2 out of the top, I'm going to have 4z minus 3. And if you're feeling funny about factoring out something, remember that we can always use the distributive property to get back to where we came from. On the bottom, we have 6z, and so what I have is a common 2 that can be factored. So final answer, 4z minus 3 over 3. Let's go back and look at the answer, and there we are.